Okay, so the first step you have to do is get our hosting IP address. And to do this, you're going to find um, the HostGator account information info. Now, I didn't show that in this video because I'm not sure who will view this video in the future. So I just pulled out what you need. So you just need the IP address right inside. And so I copied that and then I logged into Namecheap. Okay, so when you log into Namecheap, you're going to click on this menu over here and click on Manage Domains. Now, I already did it for this video because I didn't really want to show everything, all the other domains, but you would just scroll to your domain in that list. And so for this example, since you haven't bought your domain name yet, I'm just going to use shauna.com. Now, you're going to scroll down over here and you're looking for all host records. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to take that IP address that you got from the email and you're going to put it right here. You're going to put it in this, and this spot. And then you're going to put a star here, which is the Shift 8. Puts that little star in there, asterisk. And then you're going to change the record type to A address. And then you're going to change the TTL, which is time to live, to 60 seconds in all three of them so that they're matching. You don't have to worry about your email settings. You don't need an email address for your domain. We can worry about that at another time. So you're just going to click None and then save your changes. Now we're going to go over to our cPanel that HostGator gave us. And so that's also going to be in the email in your account information. It'll say you can log into your hosting here, and then you're going to click that and go into your hosting. Okay, so now I logged in. I waited for my Namecheap. It normally takes a couple of minutes. I waited for the Namecheap to point, and then I did shauna.com/cPanel. So you would do whatever your domain name is, .com/cPanel, and it should redirect to the same place that the IP address redirects to because they're the same location. So now I logged in, and I just skipped the login process because I didn't really want to see anyone that sees this video to also see the login details. So now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom down here to this little section right here and click Quick Install. Okay, and so now I want to click on WordPress over here on the left. I want to install WordPress. I want to use shauna.com. And so if I wanted it to be on /blog, or if I wanted it to be anywhere else on my website, I would put that here. So if you want someone to go to /store and they see this page, that's where it would be. But I want it to be on my homepage. So as soon as somebody types in the domain name, it would go here. So my admin email, I'll make it my typical name, DIY. So the site will just be a bunch of the different craft projects I do. I'm just sort of doing this for example purposes. Create my username and then install WordPress. Oh, look at that. I didn't even have to pause. It's just that fast. Your install is complete. Click here to view notifications. Click. All right, so now this is going to be my username and password. This is the information I want to keep. And so it probably also sent me an email. Look at that. And it told me all the details I need. So now you can go design your site using their themes, but I'm going to show you how to set up one of my themes. And you don't have to worry about any of these features down below. Okay, so now that you created your WordPress site, you're going to go log into it. All right, once you log in, it's pretty basic in here because we have no theme yet. So what you're going to need to know a couple of things. One, post is how you make like a regular blog post, and that will show up on a blog type page. A page is sort of, let's see if I can give you an example. Okay, so these are blog posts, and they'll show up like blog posts, but this is a page. And so what the page does is it gives me a full wide page. So that's the difference between the two. And a blog post would have a sidebar, or, I mean, it really depends on how you change your settings in the background. But, to make this as easy as possible, a blog post has a sidebar and the page is standalone. It's separate. All right, so now let's get back at our dashboard. So to make a post, you're just going to click Add New. And then you would write your post. This is the title, and this is where the body of the post goes. All right, but before we get into all this, I want to set up the theme. And so I'm going to click on Settings. You can fill in all these details with details about what your website is. I'm not going to fill them out for this video, but you just change the tagline. You can change this. We're at -5. That's the Eastern time zone. These are just personal preferences on how you want your clocks to go. Then you hit Save Changes. Appearance is actually where we want to jump to next, which is themes. And so it comes default with these 3 themes, but we want to add our own. And so we have a membership to ThriveThemes. And so you're just going to log in. I'll give you the login details when you're ready. So you go here. Now I'm going to do it on the one that I'm most comfortable with, and the one we use for everything is they have a bunch of different themes. And you can see them all if you go to, let's see here, ThriveThemes/themes. So the process will be the same. You can actually just scroll through all of these and see which one you like. You can view their demos and pick out the one you want. But for this example, I'm going to use StoryRead because that's what I use for all of our websites. I'm just going to hit download right here. And it would be the same for any of the other ones. We're just going to save that to our desktop. And then we're going to go over here to our, I'm going to close out this window so I don't get lost. And I'm going to close out this one. All right, so we're going to go over here. We're going to click Add New. And we're just going to upload that same file that we just downloaded from ThriveThemes. Oh, we still have to wait for it to finish downloading. Apparently the internet is slow today. Now that that's finished downloading, I'm just going to choose that and click Open. And then Install Now. All right, now I'm going to activate it. And ta-da, it's activated. So technically, if I go to shauna.com, you should see the template. And there we go. So it's not the most beautiful website right now, but officially you have a website. All right, so now that we have our theme installed, we have to activate our license. So I'm just gonna click that button. And you're just going to need the email address that you signed up to ThriveThemes with and your license key. And you can get that right in here. I'm going to do that off screen and then activate my theme in here. I'll click Activate License and then we'll pop back into this video. Okay, this is our activated. We've successfully done that. So we're going to go over here to Page Templates. And what we want to do is fill in this information. So your website name, your company name, your URL. Now we haven't created this yet, but that will be our contact page URL once we get going, and then your address. All right, update that information. And now I want to create page templates. So I'm going to click Privacy, Disclaimer, your lead generation page. You're probably not going to need a lead generation page, but I'm going to create one just so you can see what these pages look like. Let's see, I'll do a thank you page and a home page and a confirmation page. That sounds good. All right. Okay, so now all of these pages are created, and if I'm going to right click on this and open it in a new tab so you can see what it looks like. So this is a home page. Now it's not set up as our home page just yet, and I'll show you how to do that, but this is sort of the template they give us. And then let's see if we can view each of these separately. I'll talk through why I choose these every time. The sample page is already given to us by WordPress. Alright, so this is a pretty cool little opt-in page. It has a testimonial down here. This is like, if you want to give away something for free, this is a title that's already up there and formatted for you, and then you can replace this image with your whatever you're trying to give away for free, if it's a video or if it's, you know, a checklist of how to get through Minecraft, you know, whatever. And then over here you put the details, and then there would be a box right here where someone could give you their email address. So that way you can email them again and again and again. Obviously not to annoy them. But then after they give you their email address on this page, then you would go to you would send them to a page like this, and we would rename these. But you say thank you. There's just one more thing to do, and this sort of walks them through making sure that you don't go to their spam filter. So they go and find it, and then they click confirm, and it sort of tells their email like that they like you and they want to get your emails. And then the privacy policy just sort of tells them every website needs to have one of these for legal reasons, so you should have one. This one is a template which covers the basics, but we'll walk through what you need to have for your website once you get it up. Alright, so now let's go back into our pages, and we'll go edit the menu bar so that way our pages will show up there.
Actually, what we're going to do first is go to categories, and we're going to create 3 categories. So for me, I'm going to do holiday. I'm thinking when I pick categories, I'm thinking about what I'm going to post about on this site. So if you're doing a Minecraft site, you could do Minecraft videos, or you could do tutorials, tips, and reviews, right? And so then when you post something, it would be a tutorial where you're teaching something, or if you're doing just a tip, like 5 ways to save yourself from zombies, whatever. And then if you were doing a review, maybe it was a review of a server that you went to, or something like that, or a Minecraft product that you bought and you want to talk about it on a video. So I'm going to put that in there. So let's just do tutorials. And then the slug is, so like they would go to shauna.com/ and it would have that category. Anything with that category would be in that slug. So it's just going to be the same thing. All right. I'm not going to put a description. Don't worry about these 2 things. You don't need them right now. All right. Now I'm going to do tips. Oops, I forgot the slug. So, oh look, it automatically gave me that slug, see? So even if I made a mistake, I can hit quick edit, and it gives me the option to edit those things. And then we'll do reviews. Learn something new every day. I always type out both sections. All right, so now I have categories, and then I have, you know what page I forgot to do? Let's go back to pages. I forgot to do the contact us page, which we have to have. So I'm just actually going to rename this one the sample one they give us, which will be good because then you'll be able to learn from it. Contact us, and then hit update. So to create a new page, I could just hit add new and go through the add new one. But since I had a sample one there anyways, I can just reuse that one and not have to create any extra files. All right, so now that I've done that, I want to go make a menu. So my website right now is looking pretty bare. It has nothing up here for people to click through. So I want to hop into menus. All right, so I'm just going to put primary for the name. All right, so now you can do settings when you create pages, it automatically adds them to menu. I don't like doing that because then you end up with like a navigation bar that has like 100 different pages and it just looks sloppy. So we're going to choose our home page. We're going to choose our contact us page, and we're going to add those to the menu. And now we want people to be able to get to our categories. That's why we went and did our categories. So we're going to do tutorials, tips, and reviews, add to menu. All right, so now most of my sites, the contact us page is always at the end, and all you have to do is click on it and you can drag it. And if you want it to be a drop-down menu, you could, so let's say you have another category that's sort of related to reviews, or maybe you get so many tip videos that you have to start to separate them out into subtopics. You could put them in here and you just hover over. See how I did that? I went close to it and I went over, and that makes it a drop down. But I don't want to do that for this, so I'm just going to teach you the basics. So homepage, reviews, and these are categories, so that way anytime you post a blog post in that category, this page will just show anything related to that topic, which is cool. All right, so I'm going to save this menu. All right, so now I'm going to go to customize. And here is where you get to play around with all your features and figure out what you want it to look like. So you sort of turn it into this basic template into something really cool. So the first thing I want to do is your menu that we just did. And we're going to put it in the primary. The footer just means that if you scroll to the bottom of your site, it would have that down here. I don't ever put it down there. I don't know why people do, because you just have it at the top. But maybe your pages are really long and you would want it, but I had never done that before. So I'm going to hit save. And ta-da! Now we have a homepage, reviews, tips, tutorials, and contact us. All right. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these settings, but the font changes what you'll see here in in the different areas. So you can choose a different text font, or headline font, which is like this one, or when we went to the homepage, this would be a headline font. And then your body font is this one. So now what you have to remember is that people are going to be reading your website on their phones, on tablets, and so that will also affect. So when you're choosing fonts, I know some fonts will look really cool and funky, like handwritten, but when you view them on smaller screens, not your computer desktop, makes it sort of hard for them to see and read easily. And we want people to enjoy their experience on our site. So I don't really play around with the fonts too much. I try and keep it simple and easy to read. That's my tip there. Colors, I always like to keep the link color blue, the darker blue, not the light blue. That's just something we always do. Like, you're pretty used to clicking on text links. So that means, like, if this was clickable, it would be the color blue, and it would tell people, it shows people, hey, this text is clickable. When it's a light blue, it really just doesn't show up very well on the page. The background pattern, I'm not a fan of this big image in the background. So if you want to put a different image in there, you can in the theme settings. But I actually just like to choose these. They have a lot of different styles in here, and so you can just go through them and pick out one that you like. We'll go with this one. Pretty generic. There we go. All right, so we've done our colors. Now you can change this up here. So you're going to need a logo. I'll show you how to make that in a different video. You can just go to Fiverr and buy one and just show the person your website and say, I need a logo that will fit in this space. And for $5, they'll create you one with, basic text, just your name up there. Now we can change this to match the background if we wanted, or you can just leave it the same. I personally just like keeping it white. It's simple, it's easy. I don't need to distract my readers with anything else and flashy colors. But if you want to, you can play around with these settings in here. You can even hide the logo at this point. See, and now it's gone. So if you wanted to get something else to go into that header bar, you can. But we'll leave it and we'll just create one at a later time. So you can change how big the header is. I like to keep them small because the most important thing on the page is not my menu bar. It's actually the content on the page. So I leave everything default here. You might want to change the colors to something you like other than blue. All right, we've done header, menus, widgets. Don't worry about widgets just yet. And then the front page, that's what we need. So we want our front page to be a static front page. We don't want it. So right now when we go to Shauna.com, this is a blog post page, and it shows our blog post. And it would just have a long list of my blog posts, but I don't want that. I really want it to be this homepage because I'm going to put in, an opt-in form right here where people can get newsletter updates, and then it would link to all of my blog posts right here. And then I can also tell people to follow me on social media. So I like this style homepage much better. So I'm just going to choose a static page, and then I'm going to pick the page that I want them to use. So save. All right, and now if you've played around so much that you don't even know how to get back to the original or how to go back to a setting you liked before, you can just hit this reset to defaults, and it puts everything back to where it was when you first loaded the theme, and then you can start all over again. I don't suggest doing that if you already like what you have right now. All right, a couple other settings that we should go through real quick are in here. Okay, the logo you can change here. So remember when I said if you just wanted text, you could just put text. So I'm just going to do Shauna.com, and my color I will keep white. I can change the color of my logo right here. So I'm going to choose purple because it's Shauna.com. I guess I could choose orange, but whatever. If I wanted my logo to be at the top of the page, so if you look at the lead generation, my logo would be up here, but on the home page, it's over on the side. So that's the difference. You can have it above the menu, which would be up here, and it would just drop the menu down some more, or you can have it to the side, and I like it to the side. If you're a business and you want your phone number in your header, you can do that here. If you want to have a cool little icon like this website has right here or Amazon has, you can upload that, and it even tells you the size you need. This is where you would change the background. So if you wanted the background image to be there and not the pattern, you would upload an image right here. Let's see, copyright text. All right, so this is just copyright 2015. I like to do all rights. Well, it helps if I spell it correctly. All right, save that setting. Oh, breadcrumbs. Okay, so let me show what breadcrumbs are. I don't really care for them. That's why I want to show them to you. These are breadcrumbs. So they tell you what folder it's in or what it's categorized as and when it was published. So people can sort by those details. But I don't really care for them. They're just extra stuff on my page. So I always turn those off. All right, next, you can change your color scheme of your site. So since I did purple for my header, I'm going to do purple again. But if you did orange, you could stick with the same theme. So they've already preset some of the settings. If I go over here, you can see. Actually, I would have to go to a blog page to show you that. We'll do that later. If you want your layout to be a different one, let's see. I do the default, but you can play with these different settings. Narrow just makes your page like this is a super wide page right now, but it would make it like here to here. It's a narrow page. So these are just personal settings. Feel free to play with them. Hit save, go back, see what it looks like. If you don't like it, undo it, and then hit save again. You're all set. I like my sidebar on the left. Now, if you ever want to make changes to the site, customize changes, you can do that here, but I'm not a good CSS person. But what I do is I go into the support forums and I say, I'm looking to do this with my website. Can you help me? And then they normally give me CSS code that I can go and paste right in here, and it makes that change to my website for me, which I love about this theme and their support features. All right, save that setting. Let's see, blog settings. Featured image puts a big image at the top of your post. You can do no image, or you can leave this setting alone and make it specific every time you post a blog. So I'm just going to leave it, and then if I don't want that image to show up, I can just not publish an image and it won't show up. But if I put an image in it, it would put it in there, and it's about the width of this white space here. So it's a wide image. Or if I just wanted a small little square, which would be in my thumbnail. I'm going to leave these settings. The author name you can leave on if you want. I turn it off. I mean, most of my blogs, the people know who's publishing. It's normally just me. So I don't have to have my author name at the end of each post. But if I was going to have a lot of people posting, then I would leave that on so people could see, you know, Jane posted this one and John posted that one. Post date doesn't matter, and I don't need the category. These are just more details on the page that I don't need to have published to the public for every blog post. You're welcome to leave those on if you'd like. I don't need an about the author. Again, that's where if I had multiple authors, I would probably keep that so that way they could have their own little about the author box at the bottom with a little description and links to their Facebook pages and whatever. But it's just my blog, so I don't need to have an about the author. All right, I'm going to leave these settings, hit save. We're almost finished here. This video is getting a lot longer than I planned. Analytics. So if I set up Google to tell me how many people are coming to my page and what pages they're going to, that's going to go in here. If I go to Facebook and I want to do Facebook ads and I need to add conversion or an audience pixel, I know I'm probably talking techie to you right now, but this is where I'm going to put those codes. So whenever a website says, put this in the header of your website, you just come right in here and it goes there, and then you hit save. Don't forget to hit save. Let's see. You can change how your images automatically resize so that way they load faster. If you want, I'm going to leave those the same. If you don't want people to comment on your blog, you can turn that off here. If you want to change some of the comment features, if you want to use Facebook comments, all that stuff is in here. I leave this to default. Social media. All right, so I don't really like the floating buttons and the tools that ThriveTheme makes, so I don't update this, but you could. I use a different tool called SumoMe, and that would be a plugin which we'll do in another video. But for today's purposes, I'm really just trying to get the website set up as fast as possible so that you can start posting your videos. But all you would have to do is click on, and it would give you an option, and it would have a floating Pinterest button on the side. And if you wanted Facebook, you can have a floating, so people could, share that to their Facebook. Let's see here. So use Thrive social metadata. This is just default, so I'm going to put shauna.com, and this is so that when people share your information onto Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest, it pulls some of this information and puts it on there so other people can come back to your site. If you want your social sharing buttons to be at the bottom of your website, so anyone that comes to your website, they can always share from there, you can put that in here also. So I go over here, it would show up right over here in this corner. It'd have like a Facebook, a Pinterest, a Twitter. I normally just put this feature on my pages when I want them, and so I don't use this, but you're welcome to use this. You would just put that in here and then hit Save Changes. Okay, if you want a custom 404 page, some people make funny 404 pages. Some people just put, oops, we couldn't find the page you're looking for, or that page doesn't exist anymore. That's probably default on this, so I'm going to leave it alone. But if you wanted to create something funky and cool, you would just do that right here and then save. Related posts is important. So if you've ever been to YouTube, you've watched a video, and what shows up at the end of the video? More videos. And then on the sidebar of every YouTube video are more videos, because that's how YouTube keeps you in the environment. They want you to go to the next thing. So putting related posts on all your posts is really important, because then you can keep people in your website longer, because now once they finish a post, they'll see more related posts down at the bottom. So I'm going to enable this feature. And if I go to this website, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I click on a blog post. I read the blog post. Looks awesome. Here's what related post looks like. Looks pretty cool. So if you don't have a post that's related, it would just say no related post. So instead of putting images in that box, it would just say no related posts. So if we didn't want them to post, so let's say we had posts like secret posts for our subscribers only, we could create a category called subscribers only, and then it would never show blog posts with that category tagged to it. Or if I never want to show a post about tips down there, I only want to show tutorials and reviews, then I would ignore anything that has that tag. Or if I don't want to have anything with the word creeper in it, I can put that in here. So that's what these do, is it excludes anything with those details. Now you can also choose how many related posts you want. I think 10 is a lot. It's sort of a little overwhelming. So I would stick with, probably 6, preferably 3, but 3 wasn't really an option, so I'll go with 6. Now, I don't have any blog posts, but if you had already started a blog, if you're just installing this theme, you could click that button and it would go through all of your posts and pull together the details. It would go through all your categories and tags and sort of organize them so things have a relationship. All right, display related post box. Yes. Do you want images? So if I have images on mine, but if I just wanted to be a bunch of text links, I could do that too. And I would just do that by turning featured images off. And I'm going to choose, I wonder if I can just choose 3 here. Yeah, sorry. So the number of related posts to store is 6. So I'm actually going to keep that at 10. So that just means it's going to store 10 options to go in here. But it's only going to show 3 because I only chose 3. But if I wanted it to be more, you could just change that to more. So hit save. Okay, so now we've gone through the settings of our site. Our site is up and running. Let's go check it out. Okay, so here's the homepage of our site. Same template. Well, I'll show you how to edit that in just a second. If I click on reviews, it's not going to show us anything right now because I haven't updated the category page, and we don't have any blog posts under that category. So we'll do that in just a second. They're all going to look the same. And now the contact us page. So this page, remember it was the sample page and we just renamed it to contact us. Well, the sample page just shows you how to get all of these different features. So I'm going to click edit. I also want to point out this toolbar. So when you're logged in, this toolbar will show up, which I really enjoy because if I click on a page and I realize there's a mistake, I can just click edit page and it will open up that page. I don't have to go to my admin area, log in, find the post, click on the post, edit the post. So I just edit right here. Okay, so now it shows you right here, this is an example page. Here's the code. You see here how it has block quote. That means that they've highlighted this text. They hit block quote. And when you see that in the published version, I'm going to open that in a new tab so I can flip back and forth. And so the block quote always has this green outline around it. And it also changes the text to sort of be a little bit larger and stand out some more, which I think is a cool feature. Let's see here, or something like this. And see, this is a link text right here. So a text link, sorry. And if I look in here, you can see that the text link is currently purple. So that means I need to go into my customized settings and that text link color we chose. When I chose purple as my theme, my color theme, it reset that setting. So I need to go back in there and say, no, I want my text links to be blue. So we'll update that in a second too. So I think the first thing we need to do is set up our blog posts. So that way they'll show up in here, and then we'll update our Contact Us page. So the Contact Us page, I do a very basic one, and I like to have one because if anyone's ever reading my site and they want to send me a question, or if they want to correct something, or maybe it's somebody that I link to and they just want to say thank you, I set that up. So all I do, I set up the same thing every time, which is pretty much I just say, need to get a hold of us. We make it easy. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put that at the top. And since I copy pasted it, it also brought over that it's a headline. So if I click here, this little toolbar gives me some more options. So I'm going to click this. You can see I can change it to different heading settings, but I want to keep it that way. And then let's see here. I need to add. I'm just going to do email us, call us, email us, call us, snail mail, I think is what I said. Let's see here. Mailing address. Copy. All right, so these are heading 3s, so I'm just going to take the paragraph and make it a heading 3. I'm going to put in my phone number. And I'm going to put in, and then I'm just going to delete everything else. Now, you saw that I had lines on the other one. It's super simple. I'm just going to hit return down between each one. And now this is short codes from ThriveTheme. They make it sort of easy to customize how your blog looks and add in other really cool features like videos that work on your mobile phone. And they fit the screen. So if you've ever been to a blog on your mobile phone and the video was like off to the side or it didn't fit in your screen right, it's because it wasn't set up for responsive. And so we just use that feature. But what I'm looking for here is just a divider line. And I want to go across the whole width of my page. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to paste it below each one. All right, so now I have a Contact Us page. I don't need to deal with any of these details. I'm going to leave all this the same. If I wanted to set an image, I would do that here. I'm just going to hit update and then we can go see what it looks like. So Contact Us page. Now I'm going to hit refresh. Ta-da! We have a Contact Us page. So I want to space it out a little bit better. Maybe make it a little cooler. So you know what? I will just highlight all of this and put it in a block quote, which will make it green. And it will also center it. So now update it and you can see what that looks like. See? All right, so now a couple more settings I'll just show you real quickly. I don't like that it says Contact Us and then this, so I'm going to get rid of this. And then I'm also going to put this green box, instead of it spreading full width, I'm going to put it in the center of the page. So the first thing is turning off this headline, which is down here, the page title. I'm going to hide that because I made my own title right here. If you wanted, technically, you could just copy paste this up here. But just make sure you don't change this link right here. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put a content box. There we go, content container. All right, now I get to choose how wide I want it. Now I know that this page is about 1,000 pixels. It's like 950 to be honest. So 500 is going to be really small. So I'll actually make it 7, and I want it to be in the center of the page. And I'll hit insert, update. So this is exactly what I do. Is I actually have to put that in the right place. So it dropped in the code for that box, but I didn't put the actual content inside the code. So I'm going to take this. This is called an end tag. It ends the code, the special code we're adding. So I'm just going to cut it out for right now. Cut. And I'm going to delete that. And now down below my box, I'm going to paste it. See? And I just hit Control V, but you can right click and paste. See? Learn something new. Slow and steady. And so now we have a green box in the center. Now if you want to change the settings, you can keep messing around with the settings. If you don't want it to be green, but you still want it to be in the center like that, then you're just going to remove the block quote. And so I can do that by just unclicking this. And now the green is gone. And let's see, maybe I want to add a space above and a space below, so that way it's a little bit centered. See? Ta-da! So feel free to play around with the settings. Make it your Contact Us page. Remember I said you can make it narrow? You can do that over here. And so now the page will be narrow like this, sort of like the example one. Oops, that's not what I wanted to hit. All right, so we're on a roll here. Let's go set up our blog posts. Okay, so now we're going to hop on over here to posts. And now there'll be an example post already there for us. See, and if I view this, you can see it says hello world. We still have to work on our sidebar, but this is what your blog post looks like. So I'm just going to actually repurpose that one the same way we did before. And I'm going to make this one, let's see. I'm just going to put an example in here. So I'm doing Shauna, but for you, it would be whatever you want your first post. We're going to make a post for each category so you can just see what it looks like on the category page. So I have tutorials. So let's say I want to do a lamp tutorial. DIY desk lamp tutorial. All right, and now I'm going to take the same thing and put it down here. And the one thing you want to know about slugs is you want to dash. You can't have spaces in a URL. It doesn't work. So I'm going to do all lowercase. And then I'm going to choose my category. I'm going to take it off of uncategorized and put it on tutorial. If I wanted to make this page password protected, like only for subscribers, I could do that here. But again, we're keeping it simple. We're just trying to get something in each category so it looks nice. I can add tags, desk lamp, DIY lamp, do it yourself. All right, so what the tags do is if somebody searches your site, they can search by tag and find other posts related to that. So I like to put tags in there. And I hit update, and so now I want to add a new post. Because now we're going to need one for tips and reviews. So let's see, 3 palette project tips, right? So I'm going to put that. I can add tags here, right? So I would write my post in here, and I use the same thing I showed you on the Contact Us page. So write your post in here, hit save. Definitely don't just make blank pages. Like if you're going to take the time to create the pages, like write something in the pages. Another tab I want to point out right here is social media. It's really important that you fill this out because when people share your post, you want it to also share the details for that post, not just like basic information about your blog. So I would take my topic, which of course I would write a good topic, not just, a basic one like this. Tips for breaking apart. Finding 3 types and how to break them apart for your best. All right, and then I would upload an image that was related to this post, and I just use Canva.com. But, I mean, you can use Paint to make yours if you want. I just use this tool here and it makes posts. So you can see here's one from one of my blogs. All right, next, where were we? So after that, I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to add tags. I'm going to upload my image right here if I wanted one. And then this is the tips. So I'm going to click the tips post and publish. All right, there's that post. Now I'm going to add another new post because I want one for each topic. This topic is going to be a review, so maybe I will say silhouette printer review. All right, now Silhouette is a tool I use for printing out words like quotes and stuff for signs. So maybe I have a review video for that. Again, I'm going to fill out the social media stuff down here and make sure I create an image that I can upload. That way when it shares to Facebook, it has a title, a description, and an image that looks really good. Let's see if I can show you an example real quick. So this is a page, this is one of my posts from one of my blogs that was shared, and this is specific, but if I didn't fill out the social media part, so this is my blog post title, and this is a description that I filled out, and this is the image I uploaded. So now, if I didn't fill out that social media section, this would just say happily unemployed, it would have my logo there, and I don't want that. I want my blog post to be custom every time, so that's why it's important to fill out the social media section. And then if you set a featured image, it just shows up on your blog. All right, then the tags I would fill out. I'm going to hit reviews. Now, the only reason I'm not filling this out is because I'm trying to make this video short, fast, and easy. But you would definitely take the time to fill these out. Now I'm going to hit publish. So now if I go to my website, I should be able to go back to my homepage. And now if I scroll down, you can see, ta-da, here are my 3 blog posts automatically showing up. And then the featured image, remember how I said if you upload one, it will show for your thumbnail? That's what this is. This is your thumbnail. So if you want something custom there, you need to upload a featured image. Otherwise, it will just always look like this. So it's really important to create an image for your blog. All right, now if I click on reviews, it'll show 1 post. See? And then that's what this page looks like right now. Now, if you don't like this page, we can create a different type of page, a different style page. But that would be in a different video. But this one's really easy. What it's going to do is it's going to put once you create another blog post on this topic, it would list it here. And it's just going to have a list of all the blog posts within this topic. All right, last thing I want to teach you real quick is your sidebar. So let's go work on that. Appearance, widgets. We are almost done with our website, and I think we're about 40 minutes into this video. So while the video is getting a little long, we still are building our website, and we're only about an hour in, and we're already starting to look like we have a professional site. The one thing I would really recommend is buying your logo. All right, so when we went to our sidebar, you can see here it has all of this stuff that we really don't need in our sidebar. So what I would recommend is pretty much removing everything. You can keep the search if you want people to be able to search your topics. But in the beginning, when your site is just getting started, all of the topics are going to be on one page. So they don't really have to search. So I'm going to remove this. I'll keep recent posts for now. I'm going to delete the archives. I'm going to delete the categories, because we put the categories up at the top of our site, remember, so we don't need them on the side of our site if they're up at the top. Now, on our pages, if you wanted something on a specific page, you could do that here. And then these are for your footer. So let me go back over to my site. So you see down here, this is your footer. If you wanted to have more stuff down here, this is where you would add it. So column 1, 2, and 3. This is column 1 over here. 2 is right here. And 3 is over here. So there's nothing in this one. This is default. It will always be there. And then this is just our logo, which we can turn off in the Thrive settings if you don't want it down there. I like to keep my footer basic. I don't need anything else down here. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. What I am concerned with is my sidebar. Over here on the side, I have a banner for something. So if you want to advertise something on your site, you could put that there. If you want people to subscribe to your newsletter, you could do that here. And so that is just one of these. So you just go in here and you're going to get this. It's called custom HTML. Oh, I just put it in the wrong one. So I'm going to put it at the top. All right. And then here's my recent posts. Now, if I wanted to change it from saying recent posts to what others are reading, then I would go in here and I would just write what others are reading. And then you get to choose how many posts you want to show there. So if you only want 3 to show there, it'll show 3. If you want 5, put 5, whatever your preference is. I'm going to leave it default for now. All right, so now if you had other things, let's see here. Maybe you wanted a phone number on a page where people could just click to call you. You could do that. If you wanted to put an about the author page, you could, or section, you could add that here. So just take a few minutes, look through these, see what you need. Really, all you need in the beginning are your recent posts, and then if you want to put advertising banners, or if you want to get people to opt in, then you would use this text feature right here. But other than that, I just keep recent posts there on the side. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is the category page. So now, I don't know, you've probably noticed that the category pages I have here are not the same as the category pages that are here. And that's because I created a custom page for my category. And so let's talk about how to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is go create a page. I'm going to go to all pages. And so what I can do is I can actually duplicate my home page. Let me just check and see what that looks like again. And in doing this, it'll also show you how to edit this page. So let's do that. I'm just going to clone this page, and I'm only going to do one category page so I can keep this video short. But you can clone the home page 3 times and then put one for each one. So this, I'm going to name it tutorials. I'm going to take that, I'm going to edit the title of this and put it here, and that's just so that like people can get to my tutorials page easier. All right, now I know that I'm not going to want the section where it has the opt-in at the top, this little section here. So I'm just going to take that whole section out, and I know you have no clue how to do that, but that's all of this code. So I'm going to look, I know that this picture is a part of it, and so now here's the end of that section. See that code? That's what I'm looking for. Is I'm going to highlight all of that. I'm going to hold shift and select the end of it and just delete. All right, so now if I hit publish, I can view the page. And now this is what the page looks like, right? And so now I'm going to use this as an example. I'm going to put blog post about read the latest tutorial posts. Let's see. So now I know, I'm going to look here. It's showing 3 posts, right? So Thrive post gallery title, post number, so the number of posts is 9. So I don't really want just a gallery, just like the home page shows all of them. I want one specific to tutorials. So I'm going to delete this space here. I'm going to delete this code, because this code, all it does is it creates a gallery of all the posts on the blog. But I want one specific to my category, so I'm going to use this short code here, and I'm going to put a post gallery. And I actually get to choose my category right here. So I don't need a title because I don't want to title it. I'm going to make it 12. So what that means is right now I only have 1, but it will load up to 12 of them. And once I get past 12, then it will load. I will have to come in here and change this to a higher number. And then I can either choose to show that gallery based on how popular, which is how many shares it gets, how many comments it gets, how much traffic it gets, or I can just put it in recent order, and I'm going to keep it in recent order. So I'm going to insert that. All right, now the next thing is this follow me section, and I sort of like having that. I might even change that. Like you saw on here that I changed it to an opt-in, which just takes them over to my lead generation page. But maybe you just want social for now. Whatever you want to do, you can do that here, and that's just this section. So here's a new page section, and if you want to change the color of a section, then you need to use the page section feature. So now this section has an image, see in the background, the clouds, and that's what this is showing you. Here's that image. So I'm just teaching you a little bit of the code behind this. I'm getting a little technical. This is sort of more advanced stuff, but I just want you to be able to know what's on your page.
by looking at this code. If I wanted just a regular section color, I could go here and choose new page section. And I can either choose an image like what they've done, and I can upload the image I want. I can choose a pattern if I want to choose a pattern, or I can just choose a solid, which I would just hit color and choose my color. So let's see, I'll go with orange. The custom feature really just lets you have more customization, but let's keep this simple. All right, so here's that page section. I'm gonna cut that out again. And right now what that means is I have a page section that's orange and I have a page section that has an image. So I'm going to take out the image because I just want orange. I'm going to keep the follow me on social. And now here you can see here's these Thrive, Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube, whatever. I'm going to delete that and I'm going to put my own. Here's how you do that. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click this follow me. HTTP. All right, now the section for and Facebook and this. All right, so now I've inserted those things. And now here's that page section at the end. So I have a page that starts right here, and I have a page section that ends right here. And so now I'm just gonna hit update. You just wanna always make sure you have the page start and the page end, because otherwise you end up turning all the rest of this right here orange. So now I'm gonna hit refresh on this page. Ta-da, there's my orange. And you can see here that it added the Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. Oh, I didn't put a valid URL, so I'll have to fix it. All right, so now our page is getting somewhere. We have read the latest tutorial posts, and it has my desk tutorial one, you can see here. And the reason this is here is because there's text. So when you actually write the blog post and it has an introduction, it's just pulling that information right here into this section. And then there would be a graphic here. So if I go to here, you can see here's that description of this blog post. And then the image is just my featured image that I set for that post. All right, so that's how you customize your tutorial, your category page. Now, if I click tutorials right here, it's actually going to take me to the old category page, which I don't really want. So here's how you fix that. This will be the last step we talk about because this is advanced customizations of your WordPress, and we're still building it. I think we're in under an hour still. We'll see. Let's see here. Nope, I want to go to post categories. All right. Here's my category. I want to edit this category. So the category is called tutorials. It doesn't have a parent. I can write a description if I want to. It says redirect the category to a landing page. And this is what we're looking for. We want to redirect it to tutorials. And then hit update. Now I'm going to go back over to our page. I'm going to hit refresh. And now I'm going to click tutorials. And now it's redirecting us to the correct page. And so now this is sort of a little bumped. I might actually log in and edit this and drop this down, which means I'm just gonna return down after that title. So here's the title, I hit return, and then I can hit update. And then if I wanted to do the same thing, I can have a space before the social media section. And then remember, like right now, this page is a little short because we only have one post on that page. But you can see here that this page is actually getting a little full because I have multiple posts on this page. So now I'm going to refresh. Now you can see there's a little bit more of a space here. That's that. That's how I'm going to do it. And I think that is all the customizations. I mean, really, if we wanted to go into it, we could go into our home page and edit that. I sort of talked about that a little when we were editing the category. The one thing I want to point out here is this welcome section of the home page. So it has a background image and it has a side image. So here's how you read that code. And I'm just going to do this so it makes it easier because I'm sure I'm going to have to answer this question later. This image right here is that cloud background image that they have. If I wanted to change that, I could. The text style is light. That just means it's going to have white text on that background. If it said dark, it would have dark text, but with that colored background. Let's see here, lorem ipsum, this is this placeholder text right here. You can put bullet points if you want. So here's how you do bullet points. So I'll just bullet point, and then I'll return down, and then I'll return down. So now this section is actually broken apart into 2 subsections. Getting technical here. So you see how it says 2/3 first? So that means they're using these columns, which is a 2/3 and a 1/3. So what it did is it broke this section, this whole 100% into thirds. So this is 2/3 and this is 1/3. And so they're just using these columns. So that way when you're viewing it on your phone, it's going to put the image down below the text instead of trying to merge them both into the same section. And that's why you want to use these columns. So, in the old days, before mobile phones were really popular, we used to actually code in tables, just like a spreadsheet, but those aren't optimized for the phone. So these columns will actually let you have a table in your page without having to mess up how it looks on a phone. All right, getting really technical here. So now this is the end code for that first third. So anything with it in between that code and this code is going into that first section, this section on the page. And then anything in this 1/3 section in between this code and this code is going to go in the 1/3. So if I didn't want that image, I could actually delete that image. Well, I don't want a bullet point, so I'm going to take out the bullet points there. And I can, let's see, I want to add a picture, so I'm going to upload a picture. Let's hope I have one on my desktop that will work. This one will work. Open. All right, so now I'm going to center that image in that section. I don't need the image to link to anything, and I want it to be a square. I can make it a big square, but I'm going to stick with the medium square. Ta-da! There's my image. So now I've changed that image, and I could change the text if I wanted to. So I just added in some text, and I have the image, and that's going to be up in the top section. If I wanted people to enter a mailing list, I can do that right here. So you can see it says Thrive opt-in, and it says orange, join the mailing list, and it's laying out horizontally. So now what that means is it's going to give people the option to enter their name and email right below that section. I'm going to update it. And so you see here, it says there are some problems. It's because I haven't configured how to use that email feature, but that's where it would show up. So what it's saying is this is the first 2/3. This is the second third or last third. And then down here, they would put in enter your name and email and then submit. And that's what would go in this section the way it's laid out right now. But I didn't set up that opt-in form. And then this is the end of that section, and the start of the next section is actually right here. So you can see that section ends, and the new page section starts right here. So that's how you read the code on this page. I just wanted to go through that because I figured you'd come to me with a lot of questions about this page, but I wanted you to be able to update it on your own. If you don't want that section, all you have to do, same thing we did on the category page, is just go from the first beginning page section, and you're going to look for that ending page section note right there. If you go all the way to the end, you're going to delete everything on the page. So we updated that. Let's go take a look at what our changes made. So you can see the graphic, you can see this welcome, you can see my little code here, and then the configuration is still not there because I didn't set that up. Let's say I wanted to get rid of that image. All right, so what I need to do is replace this page section right here. So before I delete that, I'm just going to go add a new one. So I'm going to go here, hit page section. Maybe I want that to be gray, right? Insert. I'm going to cut this out because I don't need it. And now that I have a new page section right here, I'm just going to delete this page section. All right, and I can set this right up there next to that. So now I'm going to update. And now I'm going to refresh over here. And now it's gray. So pretty basic and plain, I know. That's why they put an image there. So I would just keep the image and find an image that I liked. And you can change that. If you go in here to add a new, not that one, add a new page section and you want to add a different image, you can just select the image here. So you would go find something on the web that you like, and then you would upload that here. So that's how you do that. That's how you customize this page. For the most part, you now have a custom blog created, a custom website created. You still need to upload a better logo. You have tabs, you have a contact us page, you have a footer and social media sharing. You know, all of that is part of a really good blog. And now you just need to start writing good posts. And so what you need to do right now, once you finish setting up your site this way, is either finish creating your category pages so that they all look the same, or just keep the basic ones that came with it, whichever you prefer. And then you need to go create awesome posts and make sure you set up the featured image so it's not just this gray box, that you actually have a cool image there. That's your website in an afternoon and you're ready to rock. Can't wait to see what you create.